Nothing a Chinese factory can't make.
The Chinese manufacturers woke up and chose total violence today, and I've never supported anything more.
They said, oh, tariffs, you say. Oh, okay. American people, y'all said y'all like New Balance, Adidas, Nike. Purses that man was standing in front of were identical to Hermes bag. And they only go to Italy to have the tag put on it, the designer tag.
These rappers have been used as billboards to promote high-end fashion and have made that the marker for status in the black community.
Hey guys, it's Blahzaye, and are you the type of person that likes to overpay thousands and thousands of dollars on luxury brands just so you can flex on your friends?
Higher than you, faster than you, better than you.
Oh, you are, my bad. Maybe this video isn't for you. For the people that don't like to overpay for brands just to flex and then keep up with the Joneses, to the everyday person, we're gonna get into how these luxury brands are absolutely utilizing China to make all their products cheaper and then making 1% of their product in their actual country just to market to Americans so that we have the luxury feel. So make sure to stay tuned and see how you can take advantage of this sourcing and how everything is happening around us in this Chinese-owned infrastructure of luxury business that is now heavily being affected by Trump's tariffs. If you like the video, go ahead and hit the button. Comment down below because I would love to have a conversation about this. And subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future. Let's get into it.
Nothing a Chinese factory can't make. Brooks Brothers, a premium shirt brand from the States, actually produce most of their products all in China. One of their largest suppliers is actually based in Guangdong in China. Interesting, the scale of the factories in this region specifically, they're not massive, but all of them are willing to invest heavily in research and development. For example, the world's first long-stable cotton gene sequencing product was completed here. Factories from this region are beloved by those world top brands like Tommy Hilfiger, Lacoste, Hugo Boss. Recent years, with the rise of emerging manufacturing countries like Vietnam and India, many might think that Guangdong's shirt industry might get impacted. But that's not the case, at least for now, because Guangdong's niche market is only for those middle to high-end markets like Europe and America. With its technological advantages, it will remain as a significant barrier. Alright guys, that's enough for today. If you're interested in more about manufacturer factories behind those big brands, leave your message in the comment section and I will talk in my next videos. And don't forget to follow Luna, your best sourcing partner.
And you guys are gonna go over there and be like trying to DM this lady. She's gonna be like, hey, let's talk business. You're like, yeah, I want to talk sense. I know you guys out there gonna be messaging this lady, wasting her time. Let's hop into the comments. We have awoken a sleeping giant. Yeah, those tariffs hit, and then the Chinese partners are like, well, we need to go direct to the American customers to see how we can broker these deals because they know they're about to be affected. As she just said, Europe and the American market are their two main customers for the middle to higher end products. And if people are starting to realize that they can just get their stuff direct and not have to overpay, they can just go right to the source and then get their brands. But then a lot of people are buying these brands so that so they can just flex on their friends though. So why would you buy a Birkin bag and then not have the Birkin label on it? Is it the same flex as before? You're buying Gucci and it's trying to buy Louis, which it's the same quality, but the label isn't there. And I think for a lot of people is the label. So people are willing to pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars more just for the label, just so they can flex. What is that missing feeling? Is that a feeling that you need to find within yourself? Right? God, you're compensating for something. It's pretty much what I'm saying. Let's hit the comments again. LOL, the Brooks Brothers, famous for dressing American presidents for generations. This was the perfect company to highlight. Yeah, we want to dress all of our presidents. We're just going to make sure that we get everything from China direct. That's because we're as American, we're using these other foreign countries to bolster us. That's the logic there. Algorithm, please leave me right here. I just want cotton clothes. Everything is polyester. Yeah, polyester, it's the plastic fibers, guys. And everybody's saying that our balls have microplastics in them. This is why the polyester underwear, I need to switch to that. It was like bamboo underwear or something, you know, more natural, panda life. Trump, we hold all the cards. China, we make the cards. Valid. And the funny thing is, like, the most American flags are made in China. That is a funny thing. Next video.
The Chinese manufacturers woke up and chose total violence today, and I've never supported anything more in my life. So in case you haven't believed it, hearing it come out of my mouth for the last 7 months, maybe you'll hear it and believe it coming straight from them. And I was already just about to make a whole series talking about designer clothes and what they actually cost, so this will be great to amplify that. And the algorithm will already be good and boosted. The Chinese
Yeah, guys, and I think this is a major boost for independent, designers like herself that are like, working out of your garage, working out of your basement, as we can see here, because it attacks those major giants. That's like if somebody came with a major sledgehammer for the housing industry to Berkshire Hathaway or to BlackRock, or somebody that's buying up all the freaking single family homes that regular millennials need to be buying, regular top of the line Gen Zs, the older Gen Zs that want to be buying and purchasing so they can start settling their families. If somebody took a sledgehammer to that industry and was like, okay, well, now we have to release all the houses, the pricing of houses shouldn't be this high. This is what's happening in her specific industry. This is what she does. She makes designer brands, but locally, actually American homegrown. And if the giants are being attacked, maybe it'll give her product a chance to thrive in that market. Let's hit the comments. Fantasy plot twist. China takes opportunity to charge more and ensure ethical labor. Yeah, right. Initiate strong sustainability standards, and the world leans into underconsumption core. This is my wet dream. There you go, guys. She has a wet dream right there. Just got to talk the talk and comment the comment, right? Yes, I'm living for the Chinese manufacturing videos. They just made the luxury industry a joke. That is a major thing. This is what, when I see like the black community, because we flex on people a lot, or we definitely try to, like, even if you'll see it, like I came from a trailer park. So when you go around and you're in the freaking trailer park, you seeing people around you and you're like, hey, how the hell are you affording Gucci, Louis Vuitton? How do you have this? I'm sure it's probably fake, but even at that standpoint, it's like, why are you buying that when we got food to buy? We know we have to go to the laundromat. You got that change for the laundromat, and we're just trying to buy something from Dollar General or Dollar Tree or something, but you're sitting around here and your shit's gonna get stolen too. Like you have this Louis Vuitton purse. That's what buying stuff in the hood is. It's always weird to me anyways. But yeah, we like to focus on people. But now that everybody knows that you're overpaying for it, like we know now that you overpaid just to show that you're better, but you still live in the same place. We're still in the same neighborhood, but oh yeah, you're flexing on us. Okay, will this wake people up? And I know that's now. It's like I like how that word's been taken. Like, oh well, now you're woke. That's a bad thing. Will this wake people up to be like, hey, well, this is actually a waste to be buying these luxury brands? Come on, please let us have underconsumption normalized. They absolutely do not want this because this affects total GDP of a country. So if everybody has normalized underconsumption, it makes the country's growth look bad. I don't know if you can see how like the macroeconomics of this being like a grassroots thing and China coming direct to their the China manufacturers, each little manufacturer be like, hey, we make this brand, this brand, this brand, this brand. And then American consumers are like, well, sure, I could just buy direct, which they're already doing. Hence, the Temu, Alibaba stuff. Americans are learning how to buy, in bulk, like that stuff. And like that, I mean, that's essentially just drop shipping to themselves. They're just buying, the cheaper stuff direct from China instead of just being drop shipped to regular American consumers are learning how to go and just buy direct from the manufacturer, right? That's all that is. Next video.
They probably should have took this app away when they had the chance, because the Chinese manufacturers just hit them folks with the Uno reverse. And right now, the Chinese manufacturers are the best content on TikTok. They said, oh, tariffs, you say? Oh, okay. American people, y'all said y'all like New Balance, Adidas, Nike, bet. Oh, yeah. The manufacturer is such and such, located at such and such in Guangzhou. They do shipping within this time, and here are the products. I've seen the manufacturers, every brand anybody could possibly think, from shoes and apparel to beauty products. One of the Chinese manufacturers said, oh, yeah, you know how you pay such and such $100 for Chanel beauty products? Well, we only make them for $10. Listen, I don't know how this tariff thing is going to play out, but the way that the Chinese manufacturers are playing their hand, absolutely well done. 10s across the board. I told y'all in the years that I lived in China, I got everything under the sun because everything is pretty much made there. So to see people learning about the actual quality that's in China, because not everything is made cheaply, and learning about websites like Taobao, y'all better get to getting while the getting is good.
And what's crazy is I've never even heard about that website, the Taobao website. I haven't even heard of that. I haven't done enough research on the Chinese manufacturer. And that's crazy. She actually lived in China as well, so she has a good perspective. Hit the comments. Chinese manufacturers going to start selling straight to consumers. That's what we were just talking about, guys. Yeah, I think this person's like, because I swear to God, we just read this comment. We hold all the cards, China. We make the cards you're holding. Yeah, China makes it. And that's when I started talking about the American flags. So this one's a good point, though. China has been around for over 5,000 years. America is like 250 years old. This country is a toddler throwing a little tantrum. That is true in the grand scheme of things. China is like one of the oldest nations on this planet. And they think in quarter centuries or centuries. In America, we're trying to, it seems like we're thinking like on the news cycle basis. Every 4 years, you know, every time a new president comes in, we have these drastic changes that shake up everything. When China just has it steady the whole time. Granted, that's according to their President Xi, which is essentially, he's staying in there. It's like a dictatorship, right? So they have that steady, you know, this is the path that we're going to be going on the whole time. So I don't know, there's that perspective as well, but they can play these games. But the thing is, they can play them for a long time, as they've proven. So they can come direct and they can sit here and then like stop, as Trump does. Now it's like a 250% tariff or something ridiculous like that. At this point, it doesn't even matter, because already at 50% to 100%, small businesses in America were already hurting really badly when the products got to the port and they had to pay that tariff. That's already affecting all American small businesses. So by the time you hit it to 200%, they're going to stop doing business anyway. All the American side, guys, the American side, the small businesses that are here will stop just ordering their product. That's just what's going to happen. They can't afford it. It makes no sense anymore to order. So that's how Trump will get American businesses to stop utilizing China to source their product. Anyways, next video.
So confused because Hermes clearly purports that all of their bags are handmade in France and their watches are made in Switzerland. In their verbiage, there is no room for confusion about where their products are manufactured. There's no room for China. But in the beginning of that video, that nice Chinese man is clearly standing in front of what appear to be Hermes bags, saying that these are the bags that we manufacture. I noticed he didn't say Hermes when he called out all the brands like Prada, Louis Vuitton, Coach. But the implication was very clearly there. And if Hermes products, specifically their bags, are made from beginning to end in France, why would their valuation drop with the news that Chinese manufacturers are spilling the tea? It says right here on their website, the vast majority of our products are manufactured in France. And they talk about sourcing cashmere from Mongolia, blah, blah, blah. Absolutely nothing about China, and those purses that man was standing in front of were identical to Hermes bag, correct? So does that mean Hermes is lying to us? At least lying by omission? Or are their bags beginning to end manufactured, designed, whatever, in France? I'm so confused.
And I think the biggest thing here is that they're not really lying. It's not, because what I saw a video where that manufacturer putting the bag together and each piece is from them. It's from, they piece it all together. So it technically is fully manufactured in China with the labor, because the labor cost is dramatically cheaper. It would cost way more money to manufacture that Hermes bag in France, right? Because of labor costs. However, the actual quality of the pieces is there. It's sourced there and brought together to be manufactured in China. And then China does it like the 99% putting everything together, but all those little different pieces, like the metal, the zipper, the leather, you know, all that stuff is put together, and it's from different countries. It's from different areas, the best of the best. The quality is there, so that when you get the product as the final source, you know, the final person in the line for that product, the consumer, the quality. The labor, however, was in China, which would produce that made in China tag if it weren't for the fact that China does 99% of the work, ships it back over to France or Italy, right? And then they finish it there. So then legally it's made in France or made Italy. That tag can be put there for the final touches of that bag or of any luxury brand item that is in this type of industrial process, when it is really just because if you put that made in China tag, the guy even stated before on a previous video that the value of the bag would drastically drop, because just as an Americans, as Europeans, it's seen of as lesser quality just because it was made by Chinese hands, which seems kind of iffy, to be completely honest. Let's get the comments. My question is, why should it be more Yeah, this is exactly what we were just saying, guys. Why should it be more valued if it's made in France or Italy than in China, especially if the quality is the same? China is more advanced and experienced than Italy and France, guys. Throw it down in the comments below. You tell me why it's more valued if it's made in Italy or France and not in China, when it's just the hands that are different that's making it. Yeah. Combat Bear has a comment, but I don't know. Is it this? Throw it down in the comments below, guys. You You let me know. As someone who does importing, only 1% of a finished item has to be done in the country to say made in, right? I thought everyone knew this, and everybody doesn't know this. You know, everybody is getting stupid. It's idiocracy. That's why these videos are so important. That's why these videos go viral, because people are just now learning. People are too busy with their day-to-day jobs. It's the same thing with politics, to be dipping their toe in and researching, where does my bag come from? They just know it was extremely expensive. It says that it was made in Italy, and that's why it's so expensive, because people in Italy and France are more cultured than Americans, right? They do that, and that's why. And then if Stacy buys this bag, she's better than Lucy over here. She has more money. She's better well off. She takes care of more things. She's more productive. Or maybe, you know, her husband's better. He bought her the bag. Her boyfriend's better or whatever. You know, she's just better because of this item. Now, if it said made in China, if people are like, oh, well, it's fake, you know, it's fake. The quality is terrible. You know, that's cheap stuff. I can get that from anywhere. Now it's not valued the same. That's why they can't make that distinction, that change. It needs to be something like, oh, well, because everything's made in China. That's going to be the comparison. Everything's made in China. So why would this extremely expensive purse, which costs more than a damn car, some of those Birkin bags, right? Why this thing is also made in China? So I don't value it the same. The name, because he put together like a Birkin or Hermes, you know, the Hermes Birkin, whatever the fuck, the purse bag, you know, whatever. I'm a dude. I don't know about the purses that much. But he said that as soon as, if it said made in China, that $30,000 purse would just become a $2,000. You know what I'm saying? So just that little name. You're paying $30,000 for the name. But now that people know this, will their actions change? Well, only time will tell. If he's lying, I expect a tour of the Hermes factory in France ASAP. There will be a factory to install labels. Yeah. They'll have a factory over there. I can guarantee you that. Next video.
When that Chinese man got on his app and said all the luxury items are made in China and they only go to Italy to have the tag put on it, the designer tag, and once that designer tag is put on it, now it can say made in Italy, because only that small little percentage was actually made in Italy, but that's all it takes to say made in Italy. Now it makes it over here to our designer boutiques, and we're spending thousands upon thousands of dollars for something that was in fact made in China, not Italy. I don't care how much you're spending on the thing. Chances are it is coming from China. The only part that was actually made in Italy was when they put the designer tag on there. And this is why the wealthiest of wealthy people buy inspired by items. Why? Why would you spend the whole thing? Listen, I did a whole series on Birkins, and in one of the, you can see it in my like viral things I have pinned up there, but one of the videos was talking about the Birkin sort of like Tupperware party that all the wealthy Upper East Side women in New York have. They're not spending money on real Birkins. They're not shucking and jiving for Birkin. They call the people over in China and get the same. Yeah, so if you know, you know that people actually have Birkin Connect direct to manufacturing. That's how they're getting them made. The wealthy people, the people who are not like going through the foolishness of the Birkin game, the people who could care less because they don't need to look rich. They're actually not trying to look rich because they are wealthy. Those are the people I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I think she absolutely has a point. That's why I'm very curious to see how people are just going to react. Are we going to change our ways as Americans to start buying stuff from luxury brands because now we know that it doesn't really mean anything? We can just get the same thing from China. Are we going to change it? Or will the tariffs make a difference? Or now is it even a bigger brag to have these items that you know you overpaid for, especially when the tariffs are hitting and people are trying to just survive? And now it's like, well, I just bought a new bag, so I'm definitely better than you. Is that the culture that we're going to continue to have? Or are all these luxury brands now going to go out of business, right? Or are they going to have to drastically drop their prices because now the cat's out of the bag, right? Everybody knows now that this has all just been like a farce, and the rich people have been laughing at all of us, you know, all of us Americans this whole time, because and then especially like rappers, like, damn, we just be rapping about, you know, these fucking brands and we're doing free advertising for them. It's so triggering. That's why I need you guys to stay tuned for this next guy, because he breaks that down pretty damn well. Let's hit it.
So the way that China has exposed American luxury and the source of American luxury is interesting to me, because I've been seeing people ask a lot of great questions, but there's one question that I haven't seen asked or answered, and that is, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck if they're made in the same factory? Who gives a fuck if they're the same materials? Who gives a fuck if it's a rep? Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? And the reason I ask that is because black people have overwhelmingly always used whatever resources we have or whatever we deemed as cool and made that what the popular trend in fashion. And we used to promote our own brands, and it didn't have to be a luxury brand. It didn't have to be a high-end fashion. And in the last 10 to 15 years, these rappers have been used as billboards to promote high-end fashion and have made that the marker for status in the black community. So now you got kids buying reps and things like that. Gildan t-shirt that says Givenchy on it, Gildan t-shirt that says Gucci on it, because we've equated these brand names with status, and it's all a farce. It's all bullshit. It's all smoke and mirrors for white people to justify their status. And the thing is that I'm able to waste this amount of money on material. It's all materials, it's all bullshit, and it's overinflated for status. Why would a bag ever cost $30,000? Why? Is it made out of God's ass? Did they skin graft the ass of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and then make it into a handbag? Because if they didn't, why does it cost so much? No, it's all status, it's all material, it's all smoke and mirrors. And now we have black people who don't understand that they're in a constant psychological war. The white society is constantly putting you in a psychological war. We're not going to see you. We're not going to acknowledge you. But we'll give you a peek behind this door over here to show you what our taste is, to show you what brands we value and we love. And then you'll strive to put that on your body to be seen by us. Perfect example of this, Lululemon. Lululemon owner tells you, I don't want you niggas wearing my shit. And what do niggas do? In the pure insecurity of defiance. Lululemon, we're gonna make a song about it. We're gonna make it popular in the black community because you don't want us to wear it. That's idiotic. That's insecure. Who gives a fuck? Black people could go to Target and start wearing whatever Target's generic athleisure brand is and make that popular if we so chose to. But it's almost like we're always trying to kick down doors that they've locked us out, that we gain no value from being behind. You gain no value from their brand. Only thing you do is funnel your money back into their fucking pocket. So who gives a fuck? This is the thing about niggas, right? A nigga will say you think you're better than me if you have better materials than them. A nigga will know you're better than them if you're smarter. So why do we have this misplaced value on the things we put on our body and not the things that are in our mind and that comes out of our mouth? Why? We don't value it if we can't see it. But then when we hear it, now a nigga think, oh, you think you smarter than me? You think, oh, get a load of this nigga. Get a load of this fucking nerd. And then equate intelligence with whiteness. But you don't equate your desperation to be seen by white people, to consume their products. You don't see that as an addiction? It's a desperation. It's a quiet desperation. Buy a quality white t-shirt. No, not you. You gotta go monochromatic, Gucci print all over your body, Gucci logo tattooed in your flesh, Louis V logo tattooed in your flesh. Slaves of material. Slaves. Materially. You love it. You love that shit. I don't mean to demean. I'm just saying in a real way, deeply. Why do you give a fuck? And as much money as we spent on these high-end brands over the last 10 to 15 years, what have they ever given us back?
No, that's an absolutely great question. What have they given us? We could say that they've given us like culture, but we just put it in our rap songs just to shit on everybody else, just to shit on each other. We just to like, yeah, prove that we are doing better, but then, you know, we're benefiting them, which doesn't rotate back to the community. So these are great ideals. Let's hit these comments. Without rap hip hop, I wouldn't know 90% of these luxury brands existed, and this is absolutely true, especially for me. Like I wouldn't know any of these brands. Like everybody raps it, you know, and then you'll have like Versace. Yeah, everybody knows, like, you talk about the rap brands and then Gucci Mane, like, come on, if you're a millennial, you know, like, that's just, if it weren't for those songs, if it weren't for rap making it popular, if it weren't for them literally advertising, as you said, like, it's the cringiest thing now is like, if you saw somebody with the logo tattooed into them, you know, it's weird, like a Gucci logo, a Louis, like, how much did they pay you for that? Did Louis pay you to tattoo yourself? Like, they should, like, lifetime? You better get free lifetime Louis Vuitton straight from China for that. Like, holy shit. They made us hate ourselves and love their wealth. Yeah. The apartments that they say luxury, not luxury either. Yeah. So this stems out to multiple different things, guys. These are just the ideals that we have to wrap ourselves around. Buy the reps, buy it authentic. In the bigger picture, it doesn't matter and never will. China up 1-0. Economics, marketing, sociology, and psychology. Yeah, this was a great video, guys. If you got anything from it, hit the like on the video so I can putting putting these type of videos together so we can grow as a community. Throw it down in the comments if you learn anything. So it's something we can engage with. I would love to have a conversation. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.